Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nobodies podcast. I am Freddie, and today we're here with another lovely round table of people. Who do we got with us?
Hey, it's me, Pete, and I'm just the spin-off sequel to my parents.
I'm internet celebrity Rob Lowe, and make sure you like my channel.
And I'm Sibs, and did we really need that spin-off? I don't think so.
I'm Freddie, and baby, I can hear the blues are calling. Tossed salad, scrambled eggs. Let's start the podcast.
Beep, 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 doo.
Alright, so we're coming off of the sequels. So why don't we do a spin-off of that? We talk about our favorite spin-offs, or our least favorite spin-offs, or spin-offs that just didn't deserve to exist.
Yay!
Is Pete really a
That
spin-off of his
sounded
parents?
weird.
I feel like he's a sequel to his parents.
I'm the spin-off sequel, I said.
I don't know if that counts.
It's like I take place after, but I'm not their story.
You're part of their story, though.
No, because the sequel, the actual sequel would be still starring
You're the
my
prequel
parents.
to their sequel.
No, what? No. That means I'd have to go back in time.
Are you your
have
own
been
grandpa?
Oh, no! Philip J. Fry was the pre-sequel we needed all along.
Alright, so who wants to start with their a sequel? Who has a good one?
A spin-off, sir.
Spin-off.
Spin-off, that's right. I'm thinking sequels now, damn it.
You know what?
Spin-off.
All Pete's
You're
fault.
welcome.
You know what? I
You're
just
welcome.
I just got one because I've been actually cataloging my video games, which is a very arduous task. I'm just looking at a stack of Wii U titles, and
Oh,
I
dear.
see Yoshi's Woolly World. Now,
Uh-huh.
the Yoshi games started as like the main Yoshi games spin-off, right? Because it was Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. I'm calling that a spin-off because that is a completely different game. And Yoshi's Island, legitimately one of my favorite games of all.
Because it's a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Mario World.
But Rob, if you take it even a step further, if you think about it, Mario is just a spin-off.
Of Donkey?
Yeah, exactly. Mario is like one of the most like iconic faces of media in general. And he's a spin-off, leaving Donkey Kong in the dust, quite literally, in Mario Kart.
I feel like Donkey Kong itself is just like that whole series is just spin-offs of spin-offs of spin-offs. Because the most memorable games are the Donkey Kong Country games.
Mm-hmm.
And those are kind of those are spin-offs. Let's just call them spin-offs.
Those are
There's always
completely
Donkey
different.
Konga.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
got
I
Donkey
wouldn't really
Konga, you got Jungle Beat, Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah.
Like that whole Donkey Kong's like there's a lot of Nintendo games series that are just spin-offs of a core series. Kirby is literally all spin-offs until like recently.
Because there is no cohesive story. It's just like, hey, what's Kirby doing now?
Yeah.
Mario Kart, Mario Party, Mario Golf, Mario Tennis.
Yeah.
I mean, you could
There's
also
baseball in there too
like-
somewhere.
Yes.
Strikers.
Strikers is
Also-
soccer.
Is that soccer? Okay.
Which side story? Strikers is actually made by the guys who, which is why it plays like a hockey game and not a soccer game.
makes sense.
You know what else Nintendo has that has a ton of spin-offs that can probably be argued more than the actual main line is Pokemon.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
So there's Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Puzzle League, Pokken, you name it.
Yeah.
All of the games except for
The best part
The
is that
first
half of
one.
those Half of those that you
No,
listed,
no,
Pete, are spin-offs of other series just with Pokemon slapped onto it.
Yeah. Yeah, the spin-offs, like
like
that.
Mystery
Pokken
Dungeon,
is
just
literally a
Mystery
spin-off
Dungeon.
of Pokemon and Tekken. That's literally a double. It's a double spin.
Pokemon's not bad though. I enjoyed playing it. But there was that other one, Pokemon Conquest. I played a little bit of that one.
Yeah, Conquest.
Isn't that like Pokemon
was
Tactics or
what,
something?
Yeah.
Into the Three Kingdoms, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I kind of want to go back and try and play it again because when I first got it, I was just kind of like, eh.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I have it somewhere in my room.
Okay, because I was gonna say I think it got like rare and expensive, like everything
Oh, well, then
else.
good. Oh, just sidetrack again. I was looking at Pokemon cards today just before. The boxes are going for like hundreds of dollars.
Oh yeah, dude, it's dumb
It's
right now.
ridiculous. Like,
'Cause
I'm
it's-
not talking
because
about
nobody
like
has them.
that and like because Amazon and eBay are just like scalpers now.
Ah, yeah.
Because of
Oh,
all
like,
those
I'm talking
fist
about,
fights
like,
at
the-
Target.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
Target literally said they're stopping to stop selling Pokemon cards
Target
now
and
in store.
Walmart.
Yeah,
Walmart too. Yeah.
they're like, we don't want to deal with this
That's-
shit no more.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, they really should probably have had that shit like locked up, like behind a counter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Target kind of did that with the Animal Crossing cards, and
Like
I
remember
I didn't get them. I wanted to have, Karopi and Animal Crossing. Guess who doesn't have his Sanrio Animal Crossing cards? Thanks, Nintendo and Target.
I mean, I used to, when I was younger, like, just walk over to 7-Eleven and, like, get Yu-Gi-Oh cards and shit. Like, because they had it behind, like, the glass case, so you
Yeah.
couldn't.
Yeah, it was like a little
You had
case
to
that you could.
ask.
It was like basically a cigarette card thing where you could
Yeah,
see what
it-
it was, but you had the
because they had
guides.
one
Lottery
they had one
tickets.
pack. Yeah, they had one pack up against the glass on
Mm-hmm.
each section, so you could see which one you were buying. Yeah, and then you would just like say, "I want that," and then the guy would be like, "All right, nerd."
Yeah. He's like, all right, that's 2 Yu-Gi-Ohs, and you want some Marlboros with that?
I'm like, "What do I look like? A pansy? Of course I want one."
All right, back on to the spin-offs.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about.
We had a spin-off conversation, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So while thinking about this, I was like, okay, the Jimmy Neutron TV series, like, spawned because of the movie, and I was like, is that technically a spinoff? So I just looked it up, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna Google it. Is Jimmy Neutron a spinoff of itself? And the answer is yes. Apparently, Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, the TV series, is a spinoff of the movie.
Yeah, because I don't think they were planning on making a series, but the movie actually kind of like did good.
Yeah.
It did very well. It was like another one of the reasons that, Nickelodeon is like, yes, film is what we're all about. And Paramount's like, yes, we'll give you money. And then they proceed to make garbage.
Yeah. You do know there is a spin-off to the TV show too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is technically a spin-off.
No.
Wasn't there another series though with like?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm saying there's a spin-off
what-
from the Jimmy Neutron TV
Oh,
show.
We don't
Quidditch.
talk about that. We don't talk about
What's his
that.
name?
I don't know what you're talking about. Nothing
the
happened.
friend, not Carl, but the other one.
Sheen. Sheen does not have a... Stop talking.
Oh, okay.
Sheen does not have
Sorry. Sorry, Charlie Sheen.
That's I'll accept that at least. But yes, we don't talk about that show.
I never seen it, so I don't know how good or bad it was. So.
It's so bad.
Mm.
Because I love Jimmy Neutron.
Mhm.
Like, I'll occasionally go back and watch it even now, and like it doesn't look good anymore. But it's just the content is so fun.
I'll argue it never looked good. I always hated that animation style.
I thought it looked alright.
Well,
at the time.
you have the choice to be wrong. It's fine.
You know what? 3D animated series does not look good, and it really didn't look that good at the time either.
Oh, I think what Reboot?
I never watched Reboot,
Oh,
but
no. Ew.
but I was gonna say
Yeah.
the Donkey Kong Country series.
Oh yeah, I can agree with that.
I
That
love that
looks
show. It is
garbo.
so dumb, but it does not look great.
Yeah, that show is garbo.
I love it though.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, so.
I think it's all on YouTube.
Well, then I know what I'm doing after this.
Yeah. Enjoy your 240p of 3D
Oh, boy.
animation.
All right. So my fellow nerds, I want to ask you this question because I didn't Google this because I wanted to discuss it.
Okay.
would you consider? Okay, good. I'm glad we got that settled. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Would you guys consider Dragon Ball Z / GT and Super sequels or spin-offs?
GT spin-off, everything else sequel.
Yeah, sequel. Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember, GT's not officially part of the continuity anymore. It never was.
Well, I mean, it never should have been.
It never was.
Yeah, because Toriyama never made it.
Right.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Fucking bug. Sorry, bug.
But Dragon Ball Z is a sequel to Dragon Ball. Super is a sequel to Z. Kai
GT
would be,
is just
Kai would be a
insane.
spin-off because it's essentially a reboot, but not quite the same.
It's just a
I
remake.
wouldn't really.
I wouldn't even.
Yeah, I
call
wouldn't
it
consider that either.
Yeah, no,
It's the
that
same.
That's just maybe truncated. But
They're trimming the fat.
yeah.
Yeah.
GT though would be a spin-off that should have never happened.
You know what?
Very true.
I can agree with this.
I would also say that the movies count as spin-offs too.
Because they're not canon.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, are they going? Okay. Did anybody besides me and Freddie see the Brawling movie?
Yes.
Okay.
In
Is
theaters,
that
of course. It's
is
canon. yes.
that okay? I was gonna say because I
all,
think
all of the ones related to Super are canon because the only thing is, remember, they took the first two and actually rehashed them in the series.
yeah, terribly by the way.
That's right. Yeah.
They should have kept it short and sweet and just built on
Yeah,
those movies. But
they-
those three are canon, yes.
Yeah.
But all of the stuff related to Z was not canon.
Yeah. That's why we never get.
I don't.
That's why
I
they
don't
never
think,
bring up the fact that hey, there's a guy who looks exactly like Goku in one of the movies, and they're just like, let's never reference him ever again.
except for that one Christmas special,
Goku
which
saves
people
Christmas.
kind of people don't talk about that one either. Anyway, yeah, I do apologize for having taken all your time with that. I will take into this consideration. I do want to specify that I don't think that just because it's canon doesn't mean that it can't be a spin-off. Things could be canon and spin-offs.
Yeah, Avatar,
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Airbender.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
I
didn't
figured
even
you
check
guys
it.
were going to talk about
No,
that.
that's a sequel. That's not
mean,
a
me and Freddie-
spin-off. That's a sequel.
I mean, me
Yeah.
and
Alright.
Freddie have like not really been like about that series though. Like,
Yeah,
I watched.
Korra wasn't.
I watched the first like 5 episodes and I was just like, when's it gonna be fun?
Yeah. I watched the whole first season.
I watched the whole thing and I really liked it.
See,
I
I mean, that's fine. A lot of people I know
Yeah,
love it.
I-
But me and Freddie
There
are
were
just
certain
not
things
about
I
it.
actually liked a lot better in Korra than I liked about the original series. But that could also be because I binged straight through both of them when it hit Netflix.
Okay.
I never watched
Oh,
it
okay.
first run. So,
Yeah.
like, my feelings towards it are not necessarily the same as people who watched it in real time.
Yeah. I watched it like weekly, and I'm just like, this is. Why do I keep doing this to myself? It's like me watching Doctor Who, the new Doctor Who. I'm like, why do I keep doing this to myself?
But no, I enjoyed Korra, but that's a sequel, not a spin-off, because
Yeah.
it takes place. I mean, yes, it's years
It takes-
afterwards, but it's a direct follow. It's a direct continuation. So.
All right, so
I've got okay. So how about Angel from Buffy?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that one.
I don't know either of those.
What kind of
know
nerd are you that you don't know Buffy? I'll
mean, I've
I'll
heard
give
of
you
Buffy.
Angel, but no, you need to brush up on your Buffy.
All right, I'll start brushing Buffy.
Yes.
Stop
Is,
brushing your Buffy.
is Buffy a dog?
I mean, I'm sure somebody has a dog named Buffy, but Buffy was also a spin-off of Buffy.
Yeah, it
Buffy was a spin-off of herself?
Buffy the Vampire Slayer was originally a movie.
We watched that movie, Pete.
We did?
Yeah, because Dale made us watch the old. It was like a mid '90s movie.
Yeah.
Was it good?
No.
It was interesting.
that-
I didn't hate
It was good
I-
enough to get a spin-off of a TV series.
Listen,
but
yeah,
the TV
it's-
series
and-
was on
and-
the WB, so that
Yeah, and it's
speaks for
completely
itself.
different. It's not Sarah Michelle Gellar and
Yeah,
and
no.
them.
I'm just saying, like, if I don't remember it, then I must have gotten rid of it when spring cleaning my memory. It's like this information ain't useful no more.
But so like the way that Buffy was on for a while, obviously, and they essentially they introduced the character of Angel on Buffy, like he was her on and off again boyfriend type thing, and the character got to be popular enough that they're like, oh, let's make more money off of him by himself. And they took him and like 2 other characters from Buffy and rolled them off into their own show. Now, Angel was never as good of a show as Buffy, but they were 2 different types of shows.
I was gonna say, was it good?
It was watchable for a while, but then it got weird. Also, didn't help that one of the main stars OD'd and died after the first season was over.
Oh, fuck!
So they kind of got rid of they had to get rid of the best character because the actor wasn't alive anymore.
Mm-hmm. Just pull a Fresh Prince and just recast him.
That's
it's fine.
But that one, it kept re-intersecting with Buffy. Like Sarah Michelle Gellar would make appearances on Angel and vice versa. So it was kind of like an almost, you have to be watching both of them, otherwise you're going to miss something. But not really, because the second show was not really that interconnected, so you could still get away with just poking your head in for like 1 or 2 episodes and then leaving it at that. It lived on its own for a while after Buffy ended too, so...
That actually reminds me of... So I never really watched them. I don't know if any of you guys did, but the same thing applies to Hercules and Xena from like the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Isn't Xena a spinoff of Hercules?
Yes. Yeah. And it was the much better show.
I mean, I only ever really watched Hercules when my dad watched it, which was fairly decent. I never really watched Xena. I only saw a couple episodes.
Yeah. Well, then look at what the lead actors turned into after the fact.
Of Xena?
Well, Kevin Sorbo and Lucy Lawless. One of them is awful, and the other one is awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
I only really watched like a random here and there because I remember there were 3 shows that would be on after Pokemon back in the day. Like when Saturday had the new Pokemon episodes, it was either Hercules, Xena, or Soul Train.
Yes.
Soul Train.
Yes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yep, that was it.
I remember watching Dexter's Lab, and they had an episode with Soul Train. I was like, yeah.
You know what? I'm calling it. Dexter's Lab Reboot is a spin-off of original Dexter's Lab.
I think it's more of a poor attempt at a sequel.
Man, I love Dexter's Lab. That was like one of my favorite like Cartoon Network shows. And when it came back, great. I was so hype, and everything
but it looked
was just
different.
wrong.
It sounded different. Everything was bad. Also, Mandark's new name is Susan.
Oh, I hated that. I think one of the first episodes on the reboot was that they revealed that his first name is Susan.
Yeah, they have a origin story for Mandark.
Just everything, man.
His parents are hippies, and his real name is Susan. No. Which I think is weird because he already has a real name. Because it was said in the first episode with him. And he's like, please, sir, call me Mandark. Da-da-da.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, so when they introduced him as Susan, I was like, well, then what the fuck was that other name?
Yeah, it's weird.
Wow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Craziness.
But back to sequels.
Spin-offs.
I mean, we've
tried.
Kind of been veering more towards sequels than spin-offs.
Yeah,
I know.
All right, so how about a bad spin-off then? That 80s show.
Oh, that's a real thing?
That's a real thing.
That is a real
You know who was
like
the star of it?
I'm assuming it was Fez?
No. Totally different cast.
Yeah.
With Dennis from Always Sunny.
Oh! Wait, what? Are you joking?
No. Go look it up.
When was this a thing?
like right after 70s show ended, they were like, we gotta cash in.
I think it was like this. I think it was the same year the last season was airing. Like I think they tried to kickstart something right around the end of the show to kind of be like, oh, the 70s are ending. Now it's the 80s.
Yep.
And it failed.
So you're telling me they pulled a fucking Scrubs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, not really, because it was supposed to be a completely different show.
Right.
None of the cast was in it. Had like no continuity to that 70s show. It was just, it's the 80s. Here's these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a thing. It was not a good thing.
You know what?
No, it was horrible.
If that show came out a few years ago, it may have lasted. Because like when there was like that weird 80s nostalgia kick.
Yeah.
I feel like even at that quality, it would have lasted a couple of seasons. Like at the time, nobody like cared about
half a season.
It was.
Yeah, I think it got canceled partway through season 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was not good.
No. I tried to watch a couple episodes, and I'm just like, I only watched one.
There are 13 episodes.
So half a season.
Not good.
I like how the first episode is once again called the pilot.
Yeah, it's typical.
Yeah.
That's most shows.
Yeah.
I know, but most shows I know are called the pilot, but I don't think they call themselves the pilot.
Some of them do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We need more airline-based shows.
Like Wings.
Yeah.
Like Wings, yeah.
Yes.
I never really got into Wings, actually. You know, when it was on.
Steven Weber and Tim Daly. That was the best.
You know what? I always felt like as a kid that, because you know we had Nick at Night, you know, with those kind of.
Wasn't that a spin-off?
Which I feel like TV Land was a spin-off.
Wasn't Wings a spin-off?
Was Wings?
Was it?
I don't actually know.
I'm pretty sure it was. Give me a minute to fact check, but I'm pretty sure it was.
Laverne and Shirley was a spin-off.
Oh, you know what I learned was a spin-off? Was Popeye.
Wings was in the same fictional universe as Cheers and Frasier.
Oh
wow.
Well,
there's a spin-off as Frasier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is one of the best.
I never watched
Yes.
Frasier.
Really. Because Frasier's one of the longest running characters in media.
In TV.
Yeah.
In TV, yeah.
And I think they're bringing Frasier back.
No.
They're bringing him back?
Are they bringing back what's his name?
I think they're doing a revival. Yeah, Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I feel like he is Frasier.
It's been greenlit for Paramount Plus.
Oh,
of course.
They start filming next year.
How unfortunate! It's not going to get enough viewers.
Probably because nobody's going to pay for Paramount Plus.
Well, it's all right. It'll be on Netflix. You know, in 2 years. like everything from YouTube Red and
Yep.
Netflix bought the rights to Quibi stuff.
Yeah.
The fuck is Quibi?
Quibi was
exactly.
That's the right. Quibi was this thing, and for whatever reason, these people decided, hey, what if we make a cell phone only app with shows that only are 15 minutes or less?
That sounds dumb.
It was supposed to be aimed at like your commuters who like, oh, you might be like on a subway for like 20 minutes. Here, you can watch this while you're going to work. It was dumb.
Have signal on the subway though.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't remember if you could download. I think that was a thing where at first, like, the episodes couldn't even be downloaded; they had to be streamed or something. So it was a mess across the board. Apparently,
and they sunk millions.
They put a lot of money, but also the contracts they put in were wild. Where they only had licensing rights for like 5 years or so for the shows. So after those 5 years were up, the rights would return to whoever created the show. So they literally invested all this money, paid for all the production costs and everything basically, and didn't even take full ownership of whatever product. So it was just like they
were in business for like a year.
You just gotta wait 5 years and you can put it anywhere else.
Yeah,
they were only in business for like a year.
Yeah.
How?
I mean, apparently one show did win like a
shame
Golden
indeed.
Globe or one of those TV awards.
Yeah, something silly like that. But
and they had some name brand shows. I think there were like actors. I mean, because I think one of them had Anna Kendrick. So
one of them I know had what's her face that played Sansa Stark on Game of Thrones. I can't think of her name.
No, I don't think any of us know.
No.
She played Jean Grey in the X-Men prequels.
Okay.
Didn't see those.
I don't know her name.
Yeah. So I have a spin-off, by the way, going back to spin-offs. So I know, I'm sure none of you have ever seen this yet, but there is a show called Cells at Work.
Yes.
God damn it, Rob. Every goddamn time!
But he's not
Every time!
He's not wrong. It's a spin-off.
I don't care. You can discuss that spin-off later when I'm not here. So anyway, there's an anime called Cells at Work. And it's a very cutesy show about the inner workings of the human body where everything is personified, like your blood cells and like the certain cells of your body that do things.
Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's Osmosis Jones the anime, no joke. But they recently finished their spinoff, which is called Cells at Work Code Black. It is a much more depressing, much more like stressful show. Like this show gave me stress watching it, but I couldn't help but keep watching because it was so interesting. Because if Cells at Work is taking place in a cutesy all environment, that's a healthy body. This takes place in the body of a man who drinks constantly, eats shit, and smokes, and barely gets off the couch. So it's just like all these health problems, and like you see everything that's happening inside of him and how his body is just constantly struggling to just, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is just so depressing. It hurts to watch, but I can't stop watching because it's so interesting. It's like, because they personify medications and stuff too, like, you know, Drix is like, you know, the gunman. That's kind of like what happens in the show is like whenever, like almost every single problem in the show they struggle to fight against, and then all of a sudden insert this treatment here shows up and just wrecks the house. Like their character like has like, okay, the character, they had an episode about sex. Like they legitimately were like, yeah, right? I was like, what? Like, all right, all the red blood cells need to get inside the penis now. Like, and push out on the walls. And they like while he's like the body's doing it. And then after it's done, he ends up getting fucking gonorrhea. And they're like, god damn it, we don't have enough white blood cells. So they're like getting slaughtered. And like it's just like we don't know if we could win because the it's like hard outer cell walls.
Yeah.
So they like describe it with armor. And then all of a sudden he takes penicillin. The penicillin essentially melts the armor off them, and then the white blood cells are able to destroy them. So I'm just like, I'm learning. I'm learning. I just informed you how penicillin works to cure gonorrhea, guys, because of this show. And I feel like I learned a lot more, and it kind of made me want to take care of myself a little bit more. I'm just saying, man, like, this show, like, the thing is, this spinoff came out when Season 2 came out of regular Cells at Work. And the numbers show. Because that season, it's like, this many people watch Cells at Work Black, which toppled Cells at Work. It was hilarious.
Because people clearly want to know what happens when they get gonorrhea.
yeah.
See, they're asking the questions here. They're like, how do we handle this?
Delicately.
Yeah.
I
really did love the ending to the season though. I thought it was gonna like end there, but but now they're like, nope, season 2 is gonna be coming out.
Oh, so they didn't give him syphilis and then make his brain die?
No. Okay.
Sad.
I'm assuming you guys aren't gonna watch it.
Probably not.
Are you?
Yeah, but it'll probably be like a
Down
long
the
time
road.
from now.
Okay. I don't want to say it if it's gonna ruin, because I was literally.
I
gonna
mean, that
spoil
show's
it.
also new enough that we probably shouldn't. spoil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold off.
all right.
Hold off
I'm
for
just-
another month.
Maybe one
just-
day we'll have a
just 1 month.
spoiled cast. Yeah. But yeah, it was good. I would recommend it. It made me depressed and sad and but while also being entertained.
Speaking of animes, and I don't know, Pete, you might have more info on this one than I do, because I just like the concept on it, but I don't really know too much. I think it's been a while. We do
that.
Do
a lot
you
now.
remember in Evangelion towards
Yes.
the end where they just went into
where everyone's applauding Shinji? They went to the parallel world.
Yes.
Are you going to talk about
Yes.
the manga? I have that on my list right
Okay,
here.
we're talking about
It's
Angelic Days,
Angelic
everybody.
Days and raising
Raising
Shinji Ikari Raising Project.
Yeah. I have that on my list. I wasn't sure if I was going to
we're
use
using
it,
it
but
because-
now that you're telling, we're going
you know
in.
what?
We're going
I
in.
have a few of them, but I don't remember. I remember the show, right? And I remember the best part was, I think it was Asuka bumping into them or whatever, and like into Rei and Shinji, and she's like, "What? Are you gonna ride his baloney pony?" And that joke kills me every time, and that's why I love that whole parallel universe. You know,
just because of that one
just
part.
because of that.
But yes, I do remember that.
Well,
like
but that-
for anyone who does, okay, like we should probably explain. Like for whoever doesn't know, which is probably a lot of people. Let's just be honest, a lot of people.
Eva's old.
There's a show that's very
Near and
Ava's
dear to
an
our
old-
hearts.
And
Yes.
it's literally
an old-
one like
one
series.
where it's like this is the kind of life you could have had, which is just your standard anime where
Yes.
it's like, oh man, I go to school, run into new transfer girl who turns out to be one of the main characters. Childhood best friend is also one of the main characters. It's like, this is what your life could have been like, but you just have a
Everything is
depressing life
awful.
Everything's awful. You're fighting monsters. Everyone you know is dying. That's your life. But this is what you could have had. And it's like, all right, well, that's depressing. But then they made licensed spin-off manga. 2 of them. The Angelic Days is essentially a shorter version. It's 6 mangas long. And it's the story of Shinji, Asuka, and Rei, but in the parallel universe. And but the Shinji Ikari Raising Project is pretty much the same thing in premise, but a lot more detail and a lot more manga. I'm pretty sure I don't even own all of them. I think I own like 10 of them. And there's like, what, 16 or something?
End of Evangelion is a spin-off.
I mean, technically you're right.
Yeah.
And also like
Rebuild. All of it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
retellings.
I would beg to differ that the current movies are actually just sequels, though.
No.
Mm.
No,
It can't be a
they
sequel.
totally break off
Yeah,
somewhere.
the pathways go off the rails.
Like,
so.
listen, we'll find out when the last movie comes out. It's fine. I mean, it's already out. I just haven't seen it because it's like,
If
what's gonna be one of
Shinji
those?
busts
Oh,
a
you'll.
nut to an unconscious Rei confirmed same.
Well, I mean, he
off,
does
he
it to
busts a nut to
Asuka
an
in End of
unconscious-
Eva,
Oh, is it
so
Asuka?
I
I
mean,
forgot.
it's
It's
Asuka.
Asuka. Asuka's the one who he busts a nut to while she's
Yeah,
in a
there you
coma.
go.
Busts a nut on. Not
Oh,
to,
right.
on.
All right, so that's the
Yeah.
thing. If it's Asuka, then it's if it's a sequel. If it's Rei, it's a reboot. Parallel.
Or spin-off. Parallel to I'm just thinking of that fucking lines, like, to explain that we need to understand parallel universes.
Ugh.
What if it's Masato?
But
Is it the Ara that we've been waiting for this whole time?
no. She is Misato is not an Ara character. She is not.
How do you say Ara in drunk?
You know, yeah. God damn.
So, other anime spin-off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subasa Reservoir Chronicles.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah, what is that?
It was basically where Clamp took all of their properties and merged them. but made an entirely different series, but incorporated all the important characters from their main properties.
Oh man, Super Smash Bros.
Yeah. So, like, the general concept is they took Sakura and Shaoran from Cardcaptor Sakura, and, like, she's a princess, and he's...
I didn't know Sauron was in Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yeah, that's where he loses his body.
Oh, got it. So this is actually Cardcaptor Sakura is the prequel. Got it.
But so he's I can't remember if he's like a knight or something, but she loses her memories somehow. It's been a long time since I've watched it or read it, but basically the whole series is he's going around trying to reclaim her memories, and in doing so, he meets characters from X 1999, from School Detectives, from all of the different Clamp properties. But they're not themselves. They have the same names. Most of their interactions are similar between the characters, but they're
different. They're like parallel universe
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So they basically did a gigantic spin-off of all of their properties. Just to share all of their characters.
This sounds a lot like one of those shows that our friend Dan was trying to get me to watch with the Fate series. There's a lot of Fates. I can't keep
I don't think any of us know enough about the Fate series to talk about.
I don't know anything about
like
the
3
Fate
of the series. That's about it.
There's the Dot Hack series.
Oh, I love Dot Hack. Are we going to talk about Dot Hack right now?
I knew if I said something, you would be okay with it. Huh?
Is Dot Hack a spinoff?
Well, you've got Dot Hack Sign, you've got Dot Hack Roots, you've got Dot Hack Legend of the Twilight Bracelet.
They're all like in the
then you've
same
got all the video
universe,
games.
But they're all
sorta. They're all.
They could still be spinoffs in the same.
Yeah. So they're basically like, because pretty much all of them are different versions of the game, and they happen at different times. Like GU's like. I think GU uses like the World 2 versus the original series, and Sign, which was like the World's original. And
but then you have like Legend of the Twilight Bracelet, where the main characters win avatars of the characters from the video games.
Yeah.
So it's like multimedia entanglements.
Was it from the video?
I
actually don't remember because I really didn't like Twilight Bracelet that much.
I didn't either because the animation was weird.
Yeah. Was it that they won the avatars of the game, or was it like the real life? For some reason in my head, I remember it as them being like the real heroes of the world or something.
No, because she's the characters are a little Black Rose and a little Kite.
Yeah.
Which are the characters in the original video game series.
Yeah, I know that. I just meant like in universe. I don't remember if like does.
Yeah, they won them in some contest.
But
indeed.
Yeah, I don't know. We could
for all of the like 15 episodes that I watched of it, that's all I remember is that they won the avatars in some sort of contest.
Yeah. I don't know. That
but he also had gotten the weapon that Kite had, the thing that let him do the thing with the infection stuff.
Yeah.
But then you had some characters that overlapped between like all of them. I think like Helba.
Mm-hmm.
And Balmung.
I think he was always kind of like, well, was he in?
I think he was. I know he was in at least. He was in the video games. He was in Sign, and I'm pretty sure. He was in Sign, he was in the original video games, and I'm pretty sure he was in Twilight Bracelet.
See, the sort of problem is because the characters are based on templates of what their, like, job is. It's like, because you had
Mimi Rue and everyone.
Yeah,
they all look the same. I mean, Mimi Rue and Black Rose are just different color schemes of the same character.
So it's kind of, in my head, they just, like, blend together.
Yeah.
And it's also been. I've actually I noticed that I've been, as I've mentioned, I've been cataloging a whole bunch of shit recently, and I'm like, I'm missing a couple of random set issues.
Yes.
.hack. It's wild.
Go. Yeah. Go play it if you can.
Yeah.
If you can find them.
For lots and lots of money.
Let's spend lots of money. What else? What else is it good?
Especially since you need a PS2, so there goes all the money.
I have a PS2.
The system needs
I have one. I'm set with that.
I do too.
I don't sell my
Me
things.
too.
I just hoard.
Yeah.
Same. So, more spin-offs. What else we got?
I think Freddie would probably be able to talk more about this one when I bring it up.
Okay.
But while looking up, I was looking up, the whole, is Jimmy Neutron a spinoff? Lots of other spinoffs showed up. And one that caught my eye was Daria is a spinoff to Beavis and Butthead. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I mean, like I said, I've never seen Daria.
I mean, Beavis and Butthead aren't in it. So.
Because she moves, right?
She moves, yes. Yeah, she was
but she was in their show.
She was in their show, yes.
Yeah.
Good on her getting out of that fucking class. Yeah, because I didn't realize it. Because when I was younger and watched Beavis and Butthead, I only paid attention to them.
Yeah.
It's only about them. Why do I care about anybody else?
Pretty much.
I believe, what's it called? It was a spinoff too, King of the Hill. Wasn't that the same person? Mike Judge?
It was the same guy. I don't know if it was a spin-off officially.
Yeah, no, I think it was just the same guy.
Okay. So I know they had two characters that were almost the same exact characters in Beavis and Butthead. The one who's always complaining about them whacking off in his tool shed.
So I guess it's just a different character.
I guess it's a different character with the same exact voice.
Probably.
I mean, hey, if you play a part good, you might as well just try to put a similar character in another one of your properties. Who cares?
Yeah, it's true.
If it works, it works. But yeah, I found that very interesting. I was like, shit. Freddie. I was like, Freddie probably knows, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway.
Yeah, it was on my list. As I think you should watch Daria if you want to borrow the DVDs. I can give them to you.
Yes, you should.
I mean, I also think I should watch Daria. In all honesty.
All right.
And I don't know anything about
It's
Daria, but
definitely
I
a
know that you have
must-watch.
to watch it on DVD because apparently they've ripped out all the music and stuff on Hulu.
Yeah. No, on the DVD as well.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
They put a note inside it. They put a
is
note.
yours a re-release or something?
No. They'd only released it a few years ago. And they put a note inside it that said hey, be happy you have it, even though the music isn't here.
Yeah, they probably couldn't afford to keep the music.
No, because there was a lot of mainstream bands.
I mean,
at the
MTV.
time.
Yeah, they tried to have the hip stuff on TV at the time. So I can't imagine the cost for keeping that shit.
Because it was also on MTV, so they probably were able to work out
They had that MTV
licensing
money.
deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was probably only for syndication, not for home media.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
But at least we have the show, which that's all I care about.
Daria and Jane, the best friendship ever.
Exactly. Until one steals the other. I'm not gonna.
Wow,
go into it.
spoilers.
Yeah, I stopped myself.
Spoilers,
I was gonna
it's
say,
been
I don't know-
20 years.
Yeah.
First off, I have no excuse. Second off, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Don't worry about it. You'll find out.
All right.
So,
So you got anything else for us?
I got one. I don't know if it's gonna be considered a spin-off, but I feel like it's the greatest spin-off of all time if it is.
Okay.
The Simpsons.
I feel like
it started on the
kind of a
Tracy Ullman show as a cartoon.
I feel
Yeah.
like it would be considered a spin-off then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's in the same vein of Mario being a spin-off.
Yeah.
It's like it started somewhere else.
Technically.
Exactly. So I would consider it the greatest spin-off of all time.
Well, at least the longest running
Yes.
spin-off of all time.
Yeah.
At least TV
I mean,
show
should've
wise,
died.
because we literally just said Mario.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. that's
Yeah.
true. TV wise, greatest spin-off.
Yeah. And then video game-wise, Mario.
Yeah. I can see that.
is Mickey Mouse a spinoff?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
Simpsons is
Is Mickey
I'm
Mouse
sorry?
a spinoff?
No.
I think it's more of a reimagining because it used to be what was that?
Steamboat
Willie, but
yeah,
but he was always Mickey.
Yeah, so I feel like it's more of a reimagining, kind of like how Mickey is always doing, like in old cartoons specifically, Mickey's always doing something new. Like he's a painter now. Now he's a carpenter. Now he's a businessman. Now for some reason he's in World War II.
Business mouse, sir.
But you know, yeah, business mouse. Sorry, my that was insensitive of me. It's racially insensitive. I apologize.
Be proud of what you're born as, kids.
The mouse is out.
Whether you're a mouse or
for all the Mises out there, I apologize from the bottom of my heart. Do you guys? Okay, I don't know if this is gonna be a hot take or if I'm just right.
Oh,
in my mind, I'm right.
I like how this is starting already.
But Lord of the Rings is just a spin-off of The Hobbit.
No, The Hobbit was written after Lord of the Rings, so backwards.
Was it? No.
Yes, it was.
No.
You have it backwards. Yes. The Hobbit was written after the Lord of the Rings.
Let me see.
Also, I don't know. Are we calling that a spin-off or are we just calling that like a prequel?
That's a prequel.
Because it's a direct, like, correlation there. You know what I'm gonna call a spin-off going back to some video games?
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody here play Metal Gear Acid?
No. I never played any of the Metal Gear.
Me neither.
Really
Alright, so Metal Gear Solid, obviously, you know, it's like a stealth shooty game.
No, the Hobbit was first. It says here that Lord of the Rings, set in Middle-earth, a world at some distant time in the past. The story begins as a sequel to Tolkien's 1937 children's book, The Hobbit. So once again, as like without a doubt in my mind, as I said, I am right about this.
But it's not a spin-off.
It is. It does say here it is a sequel, so I can't even say it's a spinoff. So I'll just be right in my mind.
That was a take that started out hot, got cold, and then it just ended out lukewarm.
we came to an understanding.
That's
like, all right.
That's the hot pocket of takes, right? Because it's hot on the outside, and the second you bite into it, it's still fucking frozen.
I mean, that's why you got to use the sleeve, bruh.
Metal Gear Acid. It's a card game.
Yes.
It's a card game on a
Okay.
grid. So it's like a tactical RPG sorta, but it's also a card game. So your movements and your attacks and everything you do is based on whatever cards you get in your deck. And they fixed it in the second one, because in the first one I think you needed specific movement cards to move, and it just kind of was a little bit jank. Like the idea was good, but it just kind of wasn't ironed out completely. In the second one, every card can be used as a movement card, depending on like what power it has. So you could be like, all right, I need to go across the map. Let me use the biggest movement card, which also happens to be like a really, really good attack. So it's like, okay, do I want to use this attack? Like, do I want to just waste this attack on just movement, or do I want to just take multiple turns to get to where I need to be? And it's just really interesting. It's a really interesting game. It's like I said, the second one's a lot better than the first one. They thought it out. Just
It sounds like, and you use cards, you said, right? It sounds similar to Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories.
Which, by itself, the entire franchise is a spin-off.
Jesus, Kingdom Hearts is a spin-off series that then spun itself off.
Yes.
I have the third one. I haven't even played it because I'm just like, do I really want to go back into this?
I played it for a bit and then I stopped, but I do that with every video game, so that's really not surprising.
You know what, Pete? Here's what you should do.
I'm the one in the friend group with a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, but I got it when I only had the 4.
Pete, here's what you should do.
What do you want, Rob?
You should, if you play Kingdom Hearts 3, just skip past every cutscene. Like, don't even acknowledge the story in these games anymore.
I don't even want. Well, that's the thing.
The story is the thing that's important. It's everything else that they can leave alone.
I was going to say, I was literally going to say, if I'm going to do anything,
that's what
I'm just going to look up the cutscenes and not play the game.
I think that I'm gonna. You know what? This is gonna be this is the real hot pocket, right? This is the hot pocket. This is when you leave it in for another 30 seconds and it burns your entire mouth. Because I'm saying that the story of Kingdom Hearts is god-awful rubbish and should just be burned at the stake.
It is, but I need to know how this... No, I agree. It is rubbish.
It started out good, and then it turned into just an amalgamation of insanity.
Palatable. I wouldn't even say it started out good. The idea is what carried it, of just, here's Disney characters, here's Final Fantasy characters, mash them together, make them mush, and then boom. And then at some point it was just like, oh, hey, there's no more Final Fantasy characters, but we keep adding Disney characters. Also, here's Shadow People.
In the third one, they literally make it so that...
Is this where they started? Like...
In the third one, you can literally use rides as attacks.
God.
Like, you can hit people with a merry-go-round.
Oh, Jesus.
You can hit people with a pirate ship.
What does the Gravitron do?
I don't remember. But one of the weapons, I think, is
there
like...
a Gravitron?
I don't remember. I think one of the rides, I think, is like the car from, like, the Buzz Lightyear game ride. Like the one where you shoot stuff. Wall. I don't think so. But like one of them is the pirate ship, and you literally hit people with the pirate ship.
When are they gonna put Shrek in
Freddy, if a small world... Shut up, Rob.
It's DreamWorks, not Disney.
No, think about it. Yeah. Shrek is Mike Wazowski's dad, and Mike is a Disney character.
Yeah, you write that fanfic. But Freddy, if It's a Small World was an attack, it would just make the enemy kill themselves.
Wow.
Exactly. I almost did that one time on a ride to a convention. Because Anthony was like, hey, I got the Disney soundtrack.
Oh no!
So it was the songs like every ride.
Why? Who would want that?
It's
masochists.
God, that's...
Masochists.
Let's pour one out for Freddy because he's dead on the inside now.
I'm gonna pour this drink
pour
out
this
right
one out
now
too,
in my
directly
mouth.
into my mouth, though.
This is why me and Rob are the same person secretly.
Mm-hmm.
We make the same fucking jokes.
Oh God.
When was the last time you saw us together?
Yeah.
Exactly.
2 weeks ago.
I saw you this past weekend together. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
wrong
when's the last
people.
time I've seen you?
Sorry.
I was
Wrong people!
He didn't join us.
Oh, but speaking of Hot Pockets and burning your mouths, how are both of your mouths? Because you guys didn't listen to the sushi guy.
Dude, it was fine.
No, I did not. I didn't.
It was me and Dan were the ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was him and Dan. I waited for like a minute.
Yeah, I wasn't about to wait.
All right, guys, we're gonna go. We're gonna go for some Hot Pocket takes right now.
All right.
Okay.
Food spin-offs.
What's the Hot Pocket?
Food
spin-offs.
spin-offs. Do you guys remember Hot Pocket
like fried Oreos
shots?
What? Are you talking about like those
Yeah, they were like
ones?
little buns, but they had like the filling inside of it.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't
remember those.
Yeah, they were just like little buns. They were fun. Like, but I don't know why they just didn't.
Rob,
didn't
listen.
catch on. I don't know.
You know why? Because as bad as and trashy as a person can be, we're not human. Like, no one sees themselves that much in such a light that they're like, you know what?
If you're already eating a Hot Pocket, you can eat a side shot. Because here's the thing. All right, side shots are just the American trash version of Chinese buns.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all it was.
I can see that.
Because there was a lot of
That's
it was a thick amount of dough, and then you had the inside.
It's an American dumpling.
Whatever meat and filling was in there. They were American dumpling buns.
We could make the argument that frozen White Castle sliders are a spin-off of White Castle sliders.
No, that's a reboot.
I was gonna say.
Well, they're the same thing, just stuck in a freezer and terrible.
That's a reboot.
Yeah.
Which you know what? I don't even care. I'm down for frozen White Castle sliders, but it's kind of weird because they don't come with I think pickles or ketchup. It's a little weird.
No, those
I don't honestly know what came first, but would you consider like tater tots a spin-off of French fries, or are French fries just a spin-off of potatoes?
They're the same thing.
They're both spin-off of potatoes.
Yeah.
And
for all intents and purposes, they're the same thing. They're both fried potato.
Also, here's the real question: which one came first, hash browns or tater tots? Because they're the same thing in a different form factor.
Just shredded differently. Yeah.
I feel like the hash browns came first.
Probably.
It's easier to do.
And I feel like those are like an actual breakfast food, whereas tater tots are just actual disappointment.
I feel like tater tots were made like along with chicken nuggets to appease children.
What children said, I don't want fries, I want a shittier version of this? Those kids should not be allowed to procreate. That line should have ended at that point. They've already failed their life test.
It's like the same kids that want their chicken nuggets to look like dinosaurs. Chicken doesn't look like a dinosaur.
Dinosaurs like chickens.
Don't you be dissing the dinosaur.
You know what? I'm not. As adults, we can say it, and it's true. Dino Nugs is only one brand that makes Dino Nugs. They're not even that good.
Yeah. Dino Nugs are
like we look at them and we're like, oh man, it's cool shapes, and then you take a bite of it, you're like, this is a sad nugget.
This isn't chicken at all. How did I survive childhood? This isn't food.
It's clearly just flavored plastic.
Another food-related spin-off. They brought back Pepsi Blue. I don't know if you guys were on that Pepsi Blue train.
Saw. I have never tried it, but I saw it.
Oh, Pete, you would love it. Because
I'm sure I would.
I was all about Pepsi Blue back when it was here. And then they took it away, and little baby Roblo, very sad, very heartbroken. And then I went on a family trip to Mexico like 3 years later. And Mexico apparently never got the notice that they discontinued Pepsi Blue, so they still had it.
Like other countries never get it.
Well,
other countries never get.
Keep in mind, they also still use real sugar in Mexico. So
that's all I drank while I was in Mexico was just Pepsi Blue. To the point that when we came back, I actually took 2-liter bottles with me into my luggage. They kind of got flat, so it wasn't a great experience, but. Yeah, that was my last Pepsi Blue experience. Until now, yesterday went to the gas station and got me a bottle of Pepsi Blue, and they're only coming in the small bottles, but doesn't matter.
I saw them. I saw them in the pizza. Chinese pizza.
It's so good. At first, I was like, man, are they gonna change? Is they gonna change the recipe? Am I gonna have this and it's not gonna have the same effect? And I took a sip of it, and at first, the first taste is voltage, which is why you're gonna like it. But then you get that like cola flavor after, and you're like, oh, this is it. This is hitting. It's hitting right in the feels, in the memory feels.
So hopefully, I don't need to use this to put out the next fire.
But Pepsi Blue spin-off.
And all of the other Pepsi flavors. They just came out with a Pepsi Mango.
I tried that too. I bought both of them. If you like mango and you like cola, that's
it's not bad. But like Pepsi Vanilla is not as good as Vanilla Coke, not by a long shot.
No, but Cherry Pepsi destroys Cherry Coke, and I'm a Coke man.
Cherry, either of them I don't like.
I'm like a Sibs, you've never been to my house, but Freddie and Pete know I'm a Coca-Cola boy. I got like a collection of Coca-Cola paraphernalia. I'm a Coke man. I will call it like I see it. Pepsi, wild cherry Pepsi, better than cherry Coke. Vanilla Coke is better than vanilla Pepsi, though.
I don't like vanilla any soda. Just saying that out loud.
Animal.
I don't drink carbonation anymore, so.
Yeah, I feel bad for Fredward who can't have.
Wait, Pete, have you ever had the Dr. Pepper cream soda?
Oh, it's only good if it's cold.
don't think
it's
I have.
fairly new, but because cream soda is basically
It's only
just
good if it's
vanilla
cold.
soda, but
I can't say.
No,
I
it's not
have.
vanilla
it's
soda.
Cream soda is vanilla flavored.
Vanilla-ish
Your face is
flavored.
vanilla.
But yeah, no, but it's only good if it's cold. If it's room temperature, it's gross.
But
I never cared for vanilla or root beer. Those were like two of my least
I didn't like
favorite
root beer
ones.
growing up, but recently I kind of got into it.
I've always
Because you know what,
loved
my
root beer,
friend
man.
worked at a brewery, and I don't drink beer,
Mm-hmm.
but they would have root beer, so I would get just like a nice tall pint of root beer, and it was funny because people would literally be like, "Oh, he's drinking the stout." He's just like, "Oh, he's such a big boy." Meanwhile, I'm just there sipping on my Sony
I
pop.
love this. Like Rob took me there, I remember when you took me there the first time to the brewery, and we just sat down at the counter, and you look at your friend and say, "Give me the usual," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And she walks over all the way to the end, like there's taps and taps, and they show what it is. She goes over all the way to the end. There's this an unmarked little silver tap, and she just turns it and pours it in the glass, and I'm just like, "What's that?" And he's like, "It's the usual." And I'm just like, I look at her and I go, "What's the usual?" And she's like, "Root beer." And I was like, "You bitch!"
They don't have ciders over there. If they were like po' boys, I'd be getting some ciders, but they don't.
Yo, when are we going back to Po' Boys? Because Anne was
Pete,
like,
this is a podcast.
asking me
Stop
that,
talking
like,
about
over
it.
the weekend.
Going to
Yeah.
po'.
I'm just saying.
Stop trying to make plans on a podcast.
Everybody drink it. Everybody drink a Po' Boys. It's great.
No, it's
Anyway.
alcohol, and that's gross. Boo.
You're gross.
Don't drink and drive, kids. Don't
Alcohol's
drink at all.
great.
That drinking is the devil.
No.
Alcohol is poison.
Exactly.
Technically, it is.
Yes.
Hey. Anyway.
All right.
Speaking of spin-offs, that was quite the spin-off conversation.
That was.
We are always so good at spinning out the conversations. Like, this is why we could probably just have constant podcasts without topics and just be like, "Hey,
See,
guys,
I feel like
this."
that's what we need to do. We need to like have just like all right, we're just gonna go in with some dumb shit and see what happens. Podcast.
Maybe
I mean, I'm
start
okay
with
with
like
that.
a conversation starter and then see what happens by the end of the
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what we could do? We can literally just like have that's a good way to like have BS. We can have BS sessions.
Yes.
We can talk about that after this episode.
Yeah.
We'll spin off that conversation later.
Hey. All right, so I want to bring this up before this is like my last one I really want to talk about.
Okay.
Okay. Probably not hot topic. Just gonna say, I'm gonna say that every non-numbered Star Wars piece of media is a spinoff.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Like, I'm gonna start out by saying Clone Wars is just a spinoff. The Mandalorian, obviously a spinoff. Solo. Rogue One, all that shit, just spinoffs. I'm gonna say everything that is not
Yeah.
a number is just a spinoff.
Yeah, I'll abide by that statement.
Yeah.
Because it's just world
Alright.
building. It's
I
not
just
like,
wanted
it
to-
doesn't have to do with the main story. It's just there for like side stories and adding
Yeah.
lore and that sort of thing.
Like Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find them in relation to Harry Potter.
I actually have that on my list too, but I've never seen it, so I don't really know.
They're not good.
All right, that's all I need
I mean,
to hear.
the first one's okay. The second one's not
Not a
great.
Wizard Harry.
And then the third one's going to be worse because there's the whole Johnny Depp controversy and his character's been
Yeah.
recast and
Which is dumb because, like, I'm pretty sure his wife is the one at fault, and they still have her,
yeah.
like, in stuff. They're
Pete,
like, yeah, we're
Pete,
just
you
gonna
don't
fire the
understand,
victim on
right?
this.
Amber Heard is hot, so she is allowed
No, she's
to
not.
be in things.
Yo, I would argue that Johnny Depp is a hotter man than
That's
she
a
is
hot
woman.
take.
I would agree. And she is not a good
I didn't
actress.
say she was a
at
good
all.
actress.
Listen, when you're hot, you
Yeah.
don't have to be good. You just have to sleep with the people
she
who
just
are
has to
filming.
show up in that Mara costume in Aquaman, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm into it. I like what we're putting down right now.
Spin-offs.
Spin-offs.
We're
Resident
really good
Evil,
at this, guys.
The Umbrella
Yeah.
Chronicles.
Never played it. But
It's
go on.
sort of Reboot. It's sort of Bug, sort of Snack, right? Because the Umbrella Chronicles is literally a retelling of Resident Evil 1 and 3, I believe. But as a light gun shooter. So you visit the mansion again, and you're doing everything, but it's just like, imagine if Resident Evil was House of the Dead. Yeah, it's real, and they're
fun.
they're long too. They're because you think like, oh, light gun games like Time Crisis, House of the Dead, that sort of thing. Yeah, half hour to an hour. You know, no, these are like multi-hour games. They are long.
Wow.
And then there's the other one. What was it? It was Umbrella Chronicles and Darkside Chronicles, which was a retelling of 2 and another one, Code Veronica, maybe. I don't remember.
Possibly.
It's some combination. Like, Umbrella was mostly 1 with another one, and then Darkside was 2 with another one. But yeah, they're cool because they're like it straddles that line of retelling story-wise, but gameplay-wise, spin-off. And if you guys know, I love light gun games, so yeah, I'm all about those games.
Yeah. Did you ever play that light gun game where you shoot girls in their special places? So
You mean Gal Gun double piece available on the PlayStation 4?
I was waiting for you to just tell me. I was just waiting for you to be the one to say it.
It's not a spin-off, but yeah, no. For anybody who wants to know, quick review: Galgun double piece is great. Galgun 2, not. It's fine. Double piece is better. Galgun. They're also remaking the original one that never came to America, but apparently it's only going to the Switch because Nintendo doesn't care about anime titties anymore. But Sony's like, keep the anime titties away. We're a good Puritan company now.
That's all right. Steam accepts the titties now.
Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's true, but I also don't want to. It's weird because I don't want to play that game with a mouse because at that point I'm just clicking on things, and that's.
Yeah, you're not just
Which
shooting.
PS4 doesn't have a
yes.
light gun, so I'm still just using the thumbsticks to aim. It's not ideal, but it's fine, I guess. I don't know. It's worse than using a mouse. Mouse has no dexterity. Yeah. Sounds like somebody's dog is getting hype hearing about Galgun.
Or napping.
You don't get hype.
Stays.
He stays hype.
He's sleeping.
Dreaming about Galgun.
Maybe. I mean, his foot is on the move. Who knows? Just kind of moving on its own, flapping up and down.
Yeah.
Stephen King books.
Are they really spin-offs? I feel like they're just their own thing.
They almost all
Yeah,
take
same
place in the
universe.
same towns, and they refer to each other.
Well, I feel
there
like
are
that's not a
characters that
spin-off. I think
overlap.
that's more like a.
Stephen
I feel like
King
that's
shared universe.
Yeah, exactly. That's like saying Thor and Hulk are just spin-offs of each other. I think it's more of a universe building.
It's like how I wouldn't call Control a spin-off of Alan Wake, even though they're in the same universe.
Yeah, it's its own thing. It just happens to take place in the same universe.
Yeah, if it's
like,
not directly based on a different property, and it just happens to share a universe, like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and what was it? What was the spin-off? What did Brooklyn Nine-Nine cross over with? I don't even remember. Was it New
I have
Girl?
no
Am I
idea.
crazy?
Scrubs. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but they it crossed over with something, but they're not spin-offs of each other. They just happen to do the thing. Yeah.
They just happen to be there.
It's like playing a tuba in the background.
He can't help it.
He needs oxygen. Get him a breathing mask. He needs some CPAP.
He just woke himself up.
Aw.
But but you have to keep in mind, some things that are in a shared universe start out as a spin-off.
I mean, yeah, but that it's still not directly linked at all to the original story, like what you were saying, though. Like, I mean, if they were directly linked, like it's like character B here, who's now the main character, was just character is now character A.
Well, what's his face? There is a character that goes between multiple stories.
Oh, well then, yeah,
I can't think of his name, but no, there's at least one character that makes multiple appearances in things. I think he's. I want to say it's somebody in the stand.
Also, I was right. It was New Girl.
I mean,
99.
Okay. I mean, at the same time, it could still just be like its own thing, because it could be kind of like there's I forgot what his name is, but there's this one anime character that's in a lot of animes, but he's based off of a real person, so he kind of just.
It's the guy from Excel Saga.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Okay, so then yeah.
He's in Excel Saga. He's in Puni Puni Poemi because he's the guy that was one of the creators of the show.
Okay, so yeah, he's like it's almost like a cameo.
Yeah.
But if they then made him into a main character and like it started revolving around that, then that would be I consider.
But Puni Puni is a spin. But Puni Puni is a spin-off of Excel Saga, so it's the same character appearing in a spin-off of the original series, even though it's still based off of a real person.
I've never seen Puni Puni. I don't know that one.
It's a 2-episode OVA. It's entirely missable, but it's hysterical.
Okay.
But I mean, like, you've got shows like Chicago Fire. Chicago Fire was a thing, and then they spun off Chicago PD, and then they spun off Chicago Med.
I mean, but that's because they're in the same, like...
Right, but one starts as a spin-off of the other. It's like how you've got Arrow and The Flash and all of the DC Universe shows. They start as a spin-off and then they stay as a standalone thing. But they started as a spin-off.
I guess you can say that. Kind of like how what was it, the Punisher that was in Spider-Man? And then they gave him his own show or comic or whatever?
Yeah.
So is he technically a spin-off then?
If they gave him his own thing that started because of an appearance in something else, yes.
Okay, all right. I feel like the definition of a spin-off can mean many things.
Well,
and I feel like we've all learned.
It's like how you got the Netflix Punisher show because this character started in Daredevil. The Punisher is a spin-off of Daredevil because the character originated in Daredevil. And it follows the continuity of where that character started from.
All right. I get what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
So, like, The Punisher is a spin-off, but the other ones are not necessarily because the characters did not make a first appearance in that show. So, like, Jessica Jones did not first appear in Daredevil. She first appeared in Luke Cage. So she's a spin-off of Luke Cage. Or no, vice versa. Luke Cage appeared in Jessica Jones first. So Luke Cage was a spin-off of Jessica Jones, but neither of them were a spin-off of Daredevil. They just started in the same world, but one was a spin-off of the other.
Okay.
Netflix is my favorite spin-off of Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any last things they kind of want to say? Because I've gone through everything on my list pretty much, except for one thing which I was interrupted about. But that's fine. It's not really that important. I just wanted to say that I found out that Popeye was a spin-off from Betty Boop. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but I'm like, oh, I feel like Popeye was more successful. And I watched the shit
Betty
out of that
Boop was also popular, just not with
our demographic. I think it depended on your gender, which one was more popular.
I mean, I'm a boy. I thought Popeye was the shit.
And I'm not, and I didn't like either of them. So.
Well then. Does anybody else have any last minute discussions or pieces they want to say? Or
the last two I could think about bringing up is Doctor Who spinoffs, Torchwood and Sarah Jane Adventures.
I've never seen either of those.
Love Torchwood.
About that.
Torchwood was I didn't care for was it the final season?
The one that was on Stars? Yeah, no, let's not count that because that was terrible.
That was horrible. But the rest of Torchwood was really good. And
yes.
Sarah Jane Adventures was just amazing because Elizabeth Sladen was such an amazing actress. Like, she really played that part well. Did you ever see the Sarah Jane Adventures?
I saw some of it, like a handful of episodes here and there. She was great, and it was unfortunate that she ended up dying.
I know. It was what? That was almost 10 years ago now? 11 years?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, because the 11th Doctor was still going when she passed.
Yeah, because it wasn't long after her last appearance either.
Yeah. But Torchwood follows, it was Jack Harkness, right?
Yep.
That was his name? Yeah, I was like, I'm horrible with remembering names.
John Barrowman.
And, yeah. And basically his little ragtag group of people defending Earth from whatever monster of the week they decide to pull at him.
The Monstars?
Yeah, and it
Yes, the Monstars.
but it periodically loops back into Doctor Who.
Yes.
Which works. Because, like, that's how he makes a reappearance with the whole thing with the Master and all of that.
And that was like pretty much the same thing with the Sarah Jane Adventures. It was more kid-friendly. That was much more.
It was also where they really first test drove What's-His-Face that became the 12th Doctor, because, I mean, his one appearance in Doctor Who was one episode, but he was in the whole third season of Torchwood.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
He
about
was
that.
Frobisher, yeah.
Yeah,
he was one of the bad guys.
I totally forgot about that.
Yep, so he was in there twice, and yet they still hired him to play a doctor.
Hey.
Guess they really liked him. I didn't, but whatever.
He was okay. I mean,
he suffered from having a bad companion.
Sadly, that's what happens to a lot of doctors sometimes. Yeah. And sometimes you just get stuck with bad writers.
That's also a thing.
I think we're nearing the end.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it. We did our spin-offs and our sequels and our spin-off conversations.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because we're so good at keeping a cohesive mindset.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, so I've been Freddie.
I've been Pete.
I've been Internet Celebrity Rob Lowe 3. Trying a new channel.
And I've been Sibs.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you do all the subscribing, following, liking, whatever on the Map Media platforms. I was going to say Matforms. This is Matforms. They're Matforms. Media platforms. They're Matforms now. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Everybody look out for these upcoming spin-offs coming to a store near you. Mario Tax Evasion. Doctor Who and the 27th Doctor. Pokemon, Nickel Poisoning, and Dragon Ball Super Duper. Also, watch the next episode of the podcast. Bye!